All right.
I think last.
You should be good now. Go ahead, continue. So yeah, why are men choosing to opt out of dating? And shout out to the chat for letting us know. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we like that. I think as we talked about last time, we just touched on that a little bit. Men, and we're noticing, it's like, well, where's this information coming from? We're noticing the tons, if not hundreds, of videos on YouTube and all over the place with the women that, I wouldn't say crying, but they're where's the single men at? What's going on? Where are they at? How come they're not approaching? They're not buying me drinks anymore. So, why are men opting out of dating? It's they're just tired of the BS. They're tired of the games that go along with it. You
Glenn,
know,
real quick, Glenn. Sorry to cut you off. Can you see the chat? Can you see my? Can I can see the chat? Can you see the chat?
I cannot see the chat.
You can't see the chat. Okay. Well, they said you're good now. So thank you, chat.
They said what now?
They said you're good. They can hear you now.
Oh, great. Well,
Yeah,
we
you're fine.
definitely want them to hear.
Yeah, you should. We'll be able to. I'm recording this too, guys. So, like I said, I'm gonna post it later on What Men Really Want TV. So you guys will hear the beginning part that you didn't hear. But I mean, they can hear you now. So go ahead, go
The
off.
full dealio. Okay, so we're all good to go. Third time's a charm with this question. Okay.
Yeah, why are men choosing to opt out of dating, Glenn? Go ahead.
So my observations of what I'm, hearing, it's just men are tired of the BS.
Mm,
There's some games that the women are playing and they're going to deny it because they're into this passive aggressive stuff that they're doing. But a lot of them have an agenda when they're going on a date, and so forth. So I think the guys are just getting a little tired of the high price dates, that we have to sit there and take you to Ruth Chris and Perry's Steakhouse, and it's got to be steak and Red Lobster. It's got to be a $300 or $500 date just to take you out for the first time. So that's the type of stuff where guys are like, okay, and that didn't turn out too good. This didn't turn out too good. I mean, how many times can you keep affording that? And some of these just crazy expectations. You take a girl out, I mean, she's ordering up every appetizer, 7 drinks. She's taking desserts and food home to go. I mean, at that point, clearly she's soaking you. She's soaking you, and she has to know. And guys, you have to know. And I'll tell you guys, when she starts doing that and going above, 3 drinks and ordering all this extra stuff, she at that point, I promise you, she has already decided you are not the one. When she starts ordering all these desserts and all these take homes on her first date, she is in gouge mode. She is
okay.
not seeing, she is not seeing what she wants physically, attraction, or emotionally, and so she's on gouge mode. And so she's going to make this a dinner, and your dinner and all those appetizers and all those extra plates, that's going to be prep for the rest of her week. Now you've just fed her for a week, so those are the games that we're tired of, that we're being taken advantage because we're the ones that are paying. They're not paying. So it's almost like this whole fraudulent intention. And if she goes out with Tommy on Monday to Ruth Chris and JoJo on Wednesday to the Domain, and then so and so, she's going out 4 times a night and getting treated. Who's treating us 4 times a night? No one.
Yep. The sad
You know
reality is
that
of being a man.
right. But somewhere, and I've gone out with girls too, been in relationships with several, and something weird has occurred in their lifestyle. And I don't know if they've had sugar daddies early on when they're young or what the deal is, but somehow some of these women, there's a few, honestly, and they're not going to keep it real because saying this type of stuff is identifying them as having this problem. But some of them, honestly, they equate love with gifts. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
When they're
Hey.
saying, let's spend some personal
Yeah.
time together, I'm thinking personal time is, doing something, this and that. No, to
Just kicking
them,
it. Yeah, just
yeah,
kicking it.
kicking it. Spending personal quality time to a lot of women means take me shopping.
Yep.
I want to run errands. I need to go get a wig and a lace up. I need to go over here to Neiman Marcus. I got to go over here and this. It's like, okay, so to me, that's business. That's errands. Now, are we going to hang out? Oh no, that was it. It's like, okay, so we're running around all day long, running errands, and somehow they're screwed up that that's a sign of affection.
Yeah.
If I'm taking you shopping and I'm buying you gifts, that's not love, ladies. You're turning it into some kind of weird transactional. Someone messed you up. I don't know who did that early on. But that is not what a man wants as far as a dating relationship with you, that it's so transactional. We're going out, and that means, okay, running errands, picking up the bill, dinner, and all of that. And that's why, in reference to you circling back around, that's why a lot of guys, you just continue to get burned. And it's almost like, are these women going to some kind of training academy where they're told to do that? Because
Yes, yes, they are.
I mean, I know it's probably their angry auntie, their angry mama, and their
Yeah.
angry grandma telling them all how to, a man ain't a man unless he pays all your bills, and you don't need no scrubs and all this other, like a TLC song and all this other stuff and this. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
What's up?
When you look at this woman and who's giving these bad advice to her, her auntie, her mama, her grandmother, why is 95% of those ladies single?
I had the sound effect for that one.
Right?
The sound
Why,
effect for that
why
one.
are 90% of those women that are putting that bad information in her head since a teenager, why are most of those gone through their second or third marriage? Why are they currently divorced? And why are most of them single and bitter? Even Samuel's touched on that. So that's the first thing, ladies. If you're sitting up there and you think a quality date with a guy means he's taking you shopping, that's not love and affection. Something's wrong with you.
And shout out to the chat. If you guys have any questions, I know you guys are watching or listening.
Yeah.
Put the questions. I'll ask Glenn the question. So Glenn, my next question is, so what's a good first date? What's a good first date?
First date, I mean, you gotta, also kind of where you at as far as the person that you're dating, right? I mean, if I'm going to date, let's just say I'm going on a date with Janet Jackson. I don't think I'm going to Chili's with Janet Jackson. I mean, I'm just picking a name out. I know she's an older lady. I could have picked out any name. I'm just saying a high level, whatever,
Yes, sir.
I mean, of course you want something really nice and classy, but if you're a midline budget type of person, again, you can't afford to be doing all of this stuff as a first date, $500 dates. But me, what I like to do, first time date, I want to see, am I even interacting with you? Is there going to be date number two? So movies, to me, a movie is out, because a movie, you can't talk during the movie. You're not feeling any vibe. Great. You're sharing popcorn, maybe. You're sitting next to each other, and it's, 90 minutes to 120 minutes of just silence and some laughing and giggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would stay away from a movie theater on the first date, because you're not learning anything from anybody. I mean, I'd probably go to some type of nice, I wouldn't say nice restaurant, but maybe a mid-level restaurant where you got a nice bar and a nice restaurant attached to it and things of that nature. You can go and talk, get some hors d'oeuvres, have some drinks, or have some whatever it is you're doing. Keep it light, and then do your Q&A and roll out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And shout out to the younger generation who finds their way to my page, even though my page is 18 and up. I mean, with you guys, it's a little bit different. Like, I had way back when I was like maybe like 17, 18 or 19, probably 17 or 18. My first date, no, probably I was 16. I was probably young. I was probably 15. I still remember this date. I went with this girl. I'm not going to say her name. We actually did go to the movies, and we didn't watch the movie at all. We just kissed each other, okay? So, I mean, take that information and do what you will. Take that information and do what you will. But, yeah, to the older
get hot and heavy in the movie theater.
Yeah, he was just kissing the whole time. But, I mean, that was puppy love and stuff. So, to the grown folks, to the older people, yeah, man, I mean, first date, I don't know, like I'm a different kind of dude, I'm balling on the budget. I'm gonna be real. So first date, I mean, yeah, either we're going out to eat back home. If I was in Miami, shout out to Miami. You guys know I'm finna 305. Yes, sir.
Just don't say 304.
Don't say 304. But yeah, my first date would have probably been the beach. If not the beach, yeah, we'll go out to eat somewhere where we can talk and get to know each other. It's tough because there are levels, people are on certain frequencies, so there's levels to life. So it's like, depending on the person you're dealing with, some people are shy. Some people nowadays don't even know how to have a conversation. So you got to be mindful of that too. So you could take a girl out to a date, and the whole time she'll be looking at her phone. She won't even look at you, like she's trying to record the food. She's not trying to talk to you. She's trying to see the food, post the food to social media. And that's why I tell you guys, we got to be mindful. You just got to be mindful of the company you keep, and be mindful when you're on a date with somebody. Hey, I'll try to get to know you and see what you're about, right? So yeah, it's
And she's
different
on her phone
things.
the whole time.
Yeah, she might be on her phone the whole time. Gentlemen,
That's
you guys do
crazy.
it too. Like I said, you guys gotta get back to having conversations with people in real life. I'm the type, if I see a girl on her phone the whole time, I'm gonna start texting her, hey, so you're not talking to me, so what's up? Let's talk now. I'm very
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a very straightforward kind of person. But I mean, teach his own. Teach his own. All right, so next question. Next question. Let me see.
Well, first date, also, let me put in a tip here too. So, what I would recommend, even as a safety thing for first dates, it'll make the ladies feel, before it was like, come to my house, pick me up, don't honk, get out of the car, knock on the door, all this other stuff, meet my parents. But we're all adults now. You know what I mean? There's a lot of creepers out there. And I would say, first time date, you haven't gone out with this guy before, ladies. I would just sit there and say, meet separately. That way, if the date is not going well, you can leave immediately. You're not dependent on this guy to ride in his car after there's been some weird vibes going on and he's giving you the creeper vibes. And then here you have to sit in his car. Hopefully, he takes you directly home without a problem. So, first date, ladies, get yourself there. If you don't have a car, somebody can drop you off. You can take an Uber, whatever, and then leave on your own accord. That would be the first thing for a first date. And then I would like that too, because as a guy, immediately I'm seeing she's self-sufficient. She has a car or she can get herself from A and B. That's a good thing. If I'm having to start up and pick her up and this, that, and the other, it's probably going to bleed over where I got to pick her up and drop her off at work every day, So, but more or less, it's a safety issue.
Yes, sir. All
Yeah.
right, so next question. So, do you think men want control or do you think men want clarity?
There are some guys that like control. I mean, and it goes way far left where they're going to control what you're wearing and the makeup and the hair and where are you going and who you with and I need to know and all of that and what friends you're hanging around, and ladies, those are guys it doesn't matter how good they look, get away from them because you're not going to be happy. Who's going to be happy under that? Someone, always, tracking you and bossing you around. That's just crazy. But I think men may want a little control of the scenario in general. We don't want to just run around blindly, and we like to plan things ahead of time and, this and that and the other. But, definitely clarity. If they have one or the other, I definitely would I don't need control in relationship at all. Let's just both. If you're doing good shit, I don't need to control you. That's great. I don't need to tell you how to act in a relationship. You already know. So I would choose clarity. I'd love that.
Yeah, hey man, and shout out to the women in my life. Yeah, they already know. Like, I used to be kind of controlling, and I woke up and realized, man, if you're dealing with a woman that looks pretty, you gotta assume that there are gonna be dudes trying to get at her. Either you're gonna
That's
spend your
right.
time being crazy about it, or you're just gonna let her do what she does. If she cheats on you, I mean, what can you do?
That's right.
You just gotta move on.
I always said that the easiest way to lose a female is start trying to control her and start making her feel uncomfortable about her safety, her living conditions, or you're snooping in her phone and through her stuff. You're trashing that relationship, So you want all this control. You're actually going to, make her run away faster.
Yes, sir. All right, let's
Yep.
talk about the real problem. So the real problem, guys, is that it's not men, it's not
The
women.
real problems.
Yeah, the real problem is it's not men and it's not women. It's the environment that we're living in. Shout out to America, best country in the world. Yeah, you guys got to realize, man, we live in a two-income society. Uh, Shit's not easy anymore. You guys have seen the economy get worse and worse. I seen a bag of chips, 269, same bag of chips I remember back in the day when I was young.
69.
269, 269 with taxes, 278 maybe. Man, back in the day, chips was like $1, and I'm using that. That's a poor example, but I'm saying that to say, you guys got to communicate with each other. If you're trying to be in a relationship seriously with somebody, you got to have communication between each other when it comes to finances, and you guys have to be comfortable having
Right.
that conversation amongst
Right.
each other. Because if you're not comfortable having that conversation, hey, I mean, the relationship's not really gonna last, right? It's gonna be done for. All right.
Yep. Definitely you got to communicate. I mean, if you're a multi-billionaire and you're a multi-millionaire, well then, probably this podcast on dating and tips may not be for you unless you're just, you're interested, but at that point you can pay, you got all different type of avenues of people coming at you and all this other kind of stuff, you know. So for the rest of us that aren't billionaires and millionaires and can fly somebody out to Dubai, just, you know, this, that, and the other, okay, then we need to get back into communication, and we need to establish, you know, kind of reset some of this whole dating protocol. Really, it's gone far left. You know, we talked about last time, I remember going out on dates. I mean, they used to be fun. They weren't painful. It was fun. Girls have, women have ran away because, like you said, you were at Miami and said, you know, I walk on the beach and I talk to them. I just want to get to know you, and there might not be a second date or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like if you do walks on the beach, go to the park right away, they're getting a creeper vibe, you know. Then it's like, well, okay, miniature golfing, bowling, batting cages, horseback riding, dune buggy riding, ride bikes down the beach or around the lake. These women are not having that. They're not nowadays. Down the road when they get into a relationship, sure, they're going to do all that, you know. But right off the bat, you line up 20 women, first round date. No, it's restaurants, shopping, sushi, lobster. They want an experience, because to them it's kind of, you know, I've hooked a whale, and so I want to take a picture of my food. I want to show all my friends where I'm being treated to tonight, like they've done something. It's like, it's not an accomplishment. You haven't done anything. I'm paying the fucking bill. You're not. You know, you're on a ride along, you know. So, but yeah, there's definitely a problem. And well, because if you go on those dates, they'll say right off the bat, you're broke.
Yeah.
Those are broke man dates. You know, it's like, no, they're fun. And if you can't have fun with me, then this is going to crash and burn. We're only hiding, and we're going to prolong the plane crash that's going to come next month or 90 days when it finds out you don't like to do anything but shopping and go out to eat and get massages at the spa and your pedicure, and I'm supposed to pay for this shit. And it's like, if we deviate from anything other than that, we're going to have a problem. Then no, this relationship's over before we get going. So, you know, guys, try to take her out on a fun date and see what her attitude is like.
Another
We
thing
can always take her shopping. Let's see if she can handle doing stuff other than shopping and lobster dinners. That's how you weed them out.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing too, I want you guys to understand. I'm not trying to tell you to stop going on dates so much, but there's this thing called dating fatigue, right? So it's this new concept where basically you go on too many dates and they don't work out. And after a while, you become tired of trying to date people because they keep not working out. So I would say take it slow. Like, you don't have to always go on a date to get to know somebody. Like I said, a date for people is different stuff. Like, you know, you could just meet at a park somewhere. I don't know if you consider that a date, and just talk and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? You know, how you doing? So where you from? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you guys do on the first dates, right? I don't even remember the last time I've been on a first date. But I mean, you know, I'm trying to stack this money.
You'll even have people, they call them serial daters, like serial killers, but it's serial daters. And you'll sit up there and you'll see the same lady. Yep. She's on Tinder. And then you look over and she's on another dating Bumblebee. Then she's on another dating platform. It's like, what's going on? She's active on all of them. You know, she's constantly got to check her schedule to go out with you. But she says she has no kids. She works a 9 to 5, but okay, for some reason you're busy at nighttime, Monday through Friday, you're booking appointments. I mean, it's, you know, you got that serial dater type of situation going on. And
Yes,
you look
sir.
at her social media. Yeah, you look at her social media and you remember when you guys went out to dinner, how she took pictures of your lobster and steak. Well, then you look at her social media. Here's all these other dinners she's posting, and that wasn't with you. So it's kind of like, what's going on here? So it's
real quick question. Do you like lobster and steak?
What's that?
I said, do you like lobster and steak? You always say lobsters and steak.
Well, you know, I mean, that seems what they like to go for. I mean, the crab legs are a little too messy. It goes flying everywhere. I mean, I don't know too many women are going for prime rib. I don't, you know.
Yes, sir.
But it seems like they're really doing something when they go out somewhere and they just really want to give it to you, right? And they want to show their friends they're really doing some shit. Then it's always some type of steak, lobster, maybe some grilled shrimp, right? Got the asparagus on there, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not gonna post a picture when you take their ass to Chili's for a hamburger. Where's the picture then? No, that ain't impressing your friends, right?
Oh man,
where's that picture?
crazy,
Taco
crazy.
Bell. How come you ain't posting that shit? Where's the selfie at Taco Bell?
Oh man, that is funny as hell, man.
Yeah.
Lobsters and steak. All right, so my next question is: so, do you think it's a competition for attention, or is it social media validation? What do you think? Why do you think they're doing this? Why is there not just a genuine desire and more so of a tolerance of men now?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think any of us really have the answer, but you're just looking at, I mean, are they needing, and this even goes into a deeper issue. It's like, you're with me, but then you're needing to post pictures of our date or our meal to whom? Whom are you posting this to that you need their thumbs up and their approval on Instagram on a dinner that I took you? I mean, they're not there. They don't care.
Yeah,
It's not an award, ladies.
yeah.
It's not an achievement. It's not a college degree. It's like, okay, so some dude took you out for lamb and ribs, whatever, uh, and out comes the pictures. Maybe you want to savor that moment. I mean, if you've been around and you've had stuff like, eaten at Caesar's Palace, you've eaten at Mandalay Bay, you've eaten at the Domain here in August. I don't need to take pictures at all these meals. I mean, but I understand maybe if you don't go out that often, then maybe that is why you need to post all of that stuff. I don't know. Or is it you're trying to show your friends that I'm out here doing big things and I'm having a good time, so I need to post all this stuff? I mean, and what are they supposed to do? They're liking, hey, great looking steak. That asparagus looks hot. Yeah, I mean, I don't really get the whole posting of the food in the first place, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people like
I
to
don't,
show off. People a lot of time, especially now we live in a social media age. People want to show off to each other. It's tough because,
that's probably what it is.
yeah, I use it for business. I do the social media. I have a social media business. I do social media and stuff. So I use it for business. But I understand the whole aspect of wanting to show. I guess wanting to show maybe not so much the food, but if you got nice clothes on or something, and yeah, if the food is
Right.
aesthetically pleasing, if it's
Yep.
aesthetically pleasing, yeah, I get that. But yeah, I mean, every meal that I go out, I'm just like when I go out to eat, I'm trying to eat, so that's the thing too. So I'm just trying to eat my food, so I
Yeah.
don't even care about posting. I'm trying to eat it. Maybe
Yeah.
now I might start
It's
doing
not an
it.
event. They turn it into almost like an event. It's like it's a meal.
Yeah, pretty
It's not
much.
an event. It's not your birthday. Calm down. It's just Tuesday. It's only Wednesday. And then here's another thing. It's like you taking all these pictures and posting on social media. It's like, okay, but you'll notice, guys, watch this and don't call them out and don't say anything because then they'll think you're a creeper, you're a controller. But but she's on social media. You're taking her out to Perry's. You've just spent $450 on
Woo!
the two of you, right? Yeah, that's an average bill going in there with maybe two drinks and two meals and an appetizer. So
Yeah.
get ready and put your seatbelts on. Watch her take pictures of the meal, then sit back and watch. Who provided the meal?
Not even that. Watch her not take pictures of you with the meal.
That's what I'm getting ready to say. So the meal is special to her, but then and she'll take a picture of herself outside of Perry's or in the lobby next to the fountain or whatever they have going on. How come she doesn't sit there and take a picture of both of you or ask somebody to take a picture? It's like, at that moment, guys, there's a problem. She just valued that meal that more than you. I mean, you're going to post that on social media, but not me. And I'm not saying you have to post me like I'm trying to claim you. It's just an interesting thing. We're on a date together. You thought the steak and lobster was great, but then the person you're sharing time with, there's no picture there. That's just weird to me. So either take the picture or don't take any pictures. I don't, and that goes on all the time. I don't know if any lady sits up there and takes pictures on who they're on dates with. I don't know, probably because there's too many people that you're on dates with and you ain't going to put it on your social media because then you're going to look like a 304. So you want to, keep it. And then when some guy, your future guy or whatever, comes through your page and goes, wow, look at all these food. You steak and lobster over here, then you had a thing over here, and then you had something over there, and this and that. Who are you there with? Then they're going to lie. Oh, those are all with my girlfriends, and those are all with my coworkers. No, it's all them food pictures are probably from some dude because we paid for it all, you know.
Mic drop.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So
those are just one of the things we got to look at and be quiet, because again, if we say anything, then when you're looking like a creeper, like, oh, I go out with this guy, I got to take a picture next to him. No, I didn't say you had to take a picture since I'm paying for your meal. I'm just observing 5,000 women out of 5,000 women take a picture of the food, and the guys that are providing the date, they don't get not one picture, not even asked. Do you want to take a picture together? Nothing. So they're the ones that has this weird scenario, not me.
Disgruntled. All right, so hey, let me clap real quick.
I mean, and then they'll carry the pictures on their phone for like months, bro. What's that all about? They're like scrolling to a meal that they had like last October. Man, this is great. Look at that lobster. Okay. I mean, why is that still on your phone? Is it going through memories, or I got that guy, or yeah, motherfucker paid $500 that night. Yeah, that was a $700 that night. Ooh, that was a $200 bar bill. I mean, it's almost like trophies. Why you took your picture, you posted it. Why is it on your phone for years later? All these meals.
Oh man. All right, so hold on for a second. All right, so
what the fuck you doing?
All right, let's get into the next segment. All right, so what women think men want. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so ladies, based off of the male perspective, this is what we think that women think that we want. So here are some of the common beliefs.
Wow.
Men just want sex. Glenn, what do you have to say about that? Do we just want sex?
I think that's
fornication.
Well, let's look at this in two ways, and you know, yeah, it's sad that they even have to go there with that, you know, because, well, okay, men just want sex. Right away, women act like that's even a problem.
Mic drop.
They act like that's a problem right off the bat, because it's like, man, you know, this guy just all wanted sex, or that's what it's all about, or this, that, and the, I mean, why are you dating? It's not a book club. It's not, there's a supposedly, if it's not a financial attraction, ladies, so this is where you got to watch out where you're taking a stance here.
Yeah.
If it's a financial attraction and bartering going on and you want bills paid, okay, then I can see why maybe you don't want to have sex with this guy. But if it's a physical attraction, the electricity is there, you guys are vibing and feeling each other, then what is the problem? It's only natural at some point, not the first date, not the second date, but somewhere when both of you feel comfortable. What's the problem? Women act like, you know, there's this looming dentist appointment coming up every time the sex work scenario. They act like it's a chore. They do. They act like, okay, I got to go take the trash out. I got to go, I got to go mow the lawn. I have to go to the dentist. This is painful. I hate doing it, but I'll sacrifice my body for this guy because, okay, I want. So they need to sit up there. If there is a problem, then address it.
True.
You know,
True.
So that even them making that type of comment is already like, it seems like they're almost like resistant to it. They know that it's going to come up, you know, and then why is it even a problem in the first place? If you're not into that, why are you dating men? So really us, you know, I'm confused. If you're having a problem with that, which is part of the whole dating and relationship, that's a problem. But, you know, then they'll go in and they'll say on your first date, they'll go, you know, they'll start, basically what they're doing, guys, is they're grooming us. And when you get older, you start seeing these signs because they can only pull 5 or 10 games and we got them all down now. So what they do is they start grooming on your first date and they'll start using these phrases, guys, like this, and this is a red flag. They'll go, yeah, so what I like is I really like a patient guy. I like guys who are really gentlemanly, who they're not in a rush. They're patient. She's already telling you, you're on like the 6-month plan, bro.
Yep.
I mean, that's coming out of her mouth right off the bat. It's like, we're not saying, hey, I'm dating a girl that's ready to rip her drawers off day one. So there's no need to do these safeguards because we're not going down this aggressive road with you. We're on a date at Chili's.
Yep.
What's going on? And so they're setting these boundaries early on because they already know this sex conversation that they don't want. It's a trip to the dentist for them, right? They need to start laying the groundwork early on, and they want us to, keep paying and keep taking us out, but be prepared. This is going to be a 6-month or 9-month ordeal before you get the draws. Well, then why are you dating?
And then
when they say that's all that we want, that's wrong. That's not all what we want, but that's part of being in a relationship with somebody. Otherwise, what are we doing? I would just sit there and have Zoom fucking meetings, at home.
Now this is gonna sound crazy. I say this to my friends and my people, like the guys I know. I'm like, man, I'm gonna use Chris Brown. Gentlemen, ladies, well, gentlemen, shout out to everybody else. But yeah, gentlemen, if a woman is not into you the way she's into Chris Brown, okay, there's no point in dealing with her. Like me personally, I'm only dealing with women that are into me. I'm not the type. Like I said, within reason, of course, because when I have money, that could be subject to change, right? Because now I got money. But I'm not dealing with a woman that's not into me. That, I understand boundaries, and I understand take time to open up. But it's like if you're actually into me, like if you're physically attracted to me, I'm not saying you gotta per se fornicate with me on the first date, but I'm saying it's like I'm not 6 months. I mean, hey, you can go wait 6 months. I'm gonna go do what it do, but that's just me.
Right.
That's just me though, right?
Right.
I don't speak for all men. I've been told on my show before, back when I had the haters coming in, oh, you don't speak for all men, brother. So I don't speak for all men. I'm speaking for myself here, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now with that being said, being said, do what works for you. But a woman should be into you as much as she's into Chris Brown, her favorite artist, okay? And I'm saying Chris Brown, but I'm saying Usher. Shout out to Usher. Favorite rapper, whatever, it don't matter. And I say that as, a person that makes music and stuff. So
or just into you. I don't know if she needs to be gaga like Chris Brown, because you'll get women that are like jumping fences and sneaking into his dressing room and breaking.
But then that's when I turn around and tell the guys, gentlemen, you should like Chris Brown. Like, you should carry yourself as such. Like, he carries himself. Minus, what he's done in music. Shout out to Chris Brown. You should carry yourself as such. You should have that kind of confidence in whatever you're doing, because that's what will attract. So it's not about chasing women. It's more about attracting women, right? It's about attracting the right kind of women that are actually into you and want to deal with you on the level that you want to deal with them at.
You got to be fun to be with too as a guy. Some guys out there have no game. They're boring to talk to. True. Men are moving like females nowadays. They got too much estrogen and not enough testosterone. They're not leaders. They're not providers. They are weak. They are. I don't know what's going on with a lot of the men out there. So that's a problem in itself. They're all into their feelings, but on the other side of it, you shouldn't have to sit there, guys. You shouldn't have to sit there and win this girl over a period of 3 and 9 months. I mean, if she's not attracted to you, and she's not in this whole dating thing, she's not ready to date. She doesn't want to date. She doesn't want a relationship. And you're having to buy gifts. Yeah, you're having to buy gifts and send flowers and convince her and write her poems. And you're throwing every bell and whistle you can. Let me pick you up. Let me Uber you some food. Let me drop you off. Let me cook for you. Let me give you a massage. Let me do this. I mean, 3 months have gone by, 4 months, and she is still acting like, yeah, I'm kind of warming up. I don't know. I'm getting there. I'm not really, it's like, no, you need to cut ties and roll out, bro, because she has friend zoned you. Now, let's keep it real. These women have all had sex with some dude on like a first or second date or within the first week or two. They all have, whether they admit that or not. And if it fits the criteria, even guys who have no job, she'll give it up to Pookie with no question. Right? She'll get up to Pookie because he works out. He's got a 6-pack, but you know what? He ain't got a job. But man, he got to hit it in a week or two. But now for some reason, here you are, an upstanding individual. She makes you be this person that's going to pay because Pookie never paid, So now I need to take her shopping. I got to take her to Ruth Chris. I have to sit there and do for 6 months. but he sat there and hit it night one or within a week or two.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
mean,
man.
you know, it's better than me.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait.
right.
I
So
couldn't wait.
at some point, you got to cut bait. You sit there. Let's treat them like ladies. This is what I'm all about. Let's have all these different dates, we can go places. But man, if it seems like, guys, if you're having to just, you feel like you're having to just throw everything at them to win them over and convince them you are the one, you are wasting your time with that person.
And you are
You
not
are.
the one. You're not the one. That's
It
it.
should just be a joint thing. Hey, you want to go out and have get some coffee? You have some dinner? Sure, I'd love to. Wonderful. Then coffee leads to dinner. Dinner leads to maybe a movie. Leads to miniature golfing. Leads to we're talking. We're getting to it. You don't need to be bringing flowers and jewelry and chocolates all on the first date or two. And actually, guys, you're going to scare the shit out of them. You start showing up with chocolates, flowers, and gifts on the first date or two. It's like, well, and you can't keep that up, guys. And what you start early on, you got to remember they're going to expect that throughout their entire relationship. So if you're throwing out all these gifts and flowers and chocolates on your first week, dude, can you keep that going every day, 6 months and a year into it? Fuck no, you can't do that. So why are we even starting off that way?
All right, so next piece of game, gentlemen.
Show them who you are, and you don't need to switch it up later on down the road. This is who I am. You like me or you don't. I'm not going to have a facade.
So next piece of game is, gentlemen, you guys have to set a pace you can keep. Take notes, people. Set a pace you can keep. I've made the mistake personally of taking women on trips, like out of town, all that, back when I was a little bit younger, and I could have used that money to better myself now. And I mean, I used to be mad at myself for it, but I had to wake up and realize, hey, you know, you were learning. You made a mistake. It's okay. You have more money to make. But yeah, set a pace you can keep. So imagine if you take a girl on a trip for the first date or the first time you meet her within that first couple months, weeks, there's a chance she could stay with you. But if you don't set that pace and keep that pace, she's going to be looking at you like, why are you not, like, what's going on? I thought this is the kind of dude you are. I've made that mistake. And I had to realize, hey, I was moving wrong because, you know, I was so stuck in being in love. And gentlemen, another thing you have to do too is catch yourself when you're in love. You need to catch yourself, because when you're in love, allegedly, this is what they say on the net, right? On the internet. When you're in love, supposedly your brain acts as if it's on, I can't say it, but it rhymes with Mocaine, okay? I'm saying Mocaine. Please use your context clues here. So allegedly your brain is acting like you're on Mocaine. So you have to be careful of how you're moving, because you're not going to catch yourself and you're going to be doing all these things that you don't need to do that's going to put you in a hole financially, okay? So be mindful. Be very mindful. Also, when it comes to, or next question, I guess, the idea or the common belief, what women think men want, the common belief that men want submissive women. Break that down for us, Glenn. Do men actually want submissive women?
Yeah, so submissive, but let me touch on the other thing. So guys, basically right off the bat, you're building up a foundation, as he was saying, early on when you start dating this female. You're building this foundation, and then you got to be careful. Is she falling in love with the trips and the gifts, or does she actually just like you? And you'll never know that because you're bombarding her with trips and gifts and all this other type of shit. So you're setting this foundation. It's great to go those places, but you know, if you're throwing all that out at once, she is expecting that, because that's how you presented yourself day one. This is my lifestyle. So when that goes away, and hey, my money ain't coming in like it did when I first met you, she's gone. So keep that in mind. Passive women. It depends. I think it's kind of a cultural thing, and it's also kind of how you were raised. Were you raised with your soft-spoken mother who was a nurturer and was there and supported? Were you raised with a toxic mom who yells, screams, slams doors, and throws stuff across the deal? So some of that might be what you are comfortable with, leaning towards, and so forth and so on. Mostly your controlled guys, the guys who like to control, of course, they're going to go for a passive woman, because that's the path of least resistance. They're telling you everything to do and what to wear, and that girl is going to do it. Who wants an argumentative woman that's combative? Me, I don't want a passive woman. If I go, what do you want to eat? Come out with some ideas. What do you think about that? You should it should be some responses, not I don't care, it's whatever you want to eat. What kind of movie you want? It's whatever movie you want to eat. Well, where do you want to go today? It's wherever you want to go today. Now I feel like I'm dating a robot, and that's not fun for me. It's like, do you have any thoughts? Can you expand? So passive is submissive and passive is two different things. And Samuel's talked about that too, he was great at what he did, but yeah, definitely. We don't need passive women. We want you to speak up, ladies. We don't need you to be silent and talk in your whisper voice all the time. And you can't interject and this and that and the other. Absolutely not. But there's probably times where we need to submit to each other. I like that, so I don't know too many men that look for. Some men do look for passive women. That's why you get into the passport bros. You brought that up the last time. They want to go to Malaysia. They want to go to Vietnam. They want to go. And what's really weird, they'll go after these women. And I mean, to me, it just seems weird. You want to go to Vietnam and get some Asian woman who, even though she's 22 years old, she looks 12. How does that turn you on unless you have a problem? You're looking at her. She looks like a 12-year-old child. You might have some kitty issues going on upstairs.
That's not funny.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you might have some kitty issues going on.
That was unexpected. That was unexpected.
That the women that you're going after all have to represent 12-year-old children. It's weird, right? You're going out there, flat-chested. They look like 12-year-olds. I mean, so I don't know, and paying all that money and flights to go out there. But if it's not that, if it's not some type of fetish, then I think, and I don't know, I've never done that, but I think if it's not a fetish, I think they're going out there because, and they're getting these guys. They're going after, and they have to know it. These men are going after low-hanging fruit. These are third world countries. You go flashing a $20 bill. That's what they earn for a week. So you get to go out there like the big man on campus, like you are some stud, even though you're garbage back here in the United States and no woman wants to deal with you. So you go over where they got cows outside and walking around on dirt roads, and then you're amazed, like, man, they treat me so good over here. Yeah, because, man, they're starving to death. They are starving to death. You are a king walking in there. You got $100 is what they get for a month. So you have people that are looking for these passive women, and so much so they got to go out of the country. There's enough quality women right here. You can't, I like a woman to challenge me, bring some ideas. If I start doing something wrong, speak up, say something. We can be strong together. I don't need a silent woman just to sit in the kitchen and lay in the bedroom all day long. That's boring. I want have that woman, maybe she's going to start to be an entrepreneur, build a business or something of that nature. My wife or whoever's got to represent me. It's got to take over the business. You got to be able to handle the household.
Okay, let me hit the applause.
Right? I mean, I don't want somebody who's all combative either, and every night we're arguing about everything, then you feel like I'm living with a dude. So somewhere there's a fine line, You
got to walk that line. You got to balance on that.
Mark that line. We do not want alpha women.
Yes, sir.
Women who are screaming and yelling and all this other shit.
Don't want to fight. But the Dukes.
Yeah, always want to fight about everything.
Yeah, all right, so that was a segment for what women think men want. Now let's get to what men actually want. So first things first, peace over drama. So ladies, most men are not looking for a challenge. They're looking for peace.
Peace.
Yes. So Glenn, I want you to expand and explain and touch upon respect and communication, emotional safety, and less chaos and more stability. We'll start with respect and communication.
When you have a lot of men who go out there and they got to go build a man cave and a man hut and turn their garage into a man cave, or they want to go stay at work and go work longer hours, or they want to let me stop off at the bar before I come home and this and that and the other. It's not always, but there's not 100% peace in that house. When you have a person who he can't relax unless he goes into his man cave or his man thing or his basement. Why can't he relax in the living room where you're at? So think about that, ladies, for a second. Why is it that we're having to go elsewhere? Because something's going on where it's not peaceful in the house, and we avoid coming home right after work, want to make stops at the bar or hang out with our so it's got to be peaceful in the household. That's the main thing that brings us coming back home. And here's a tip to a lot of females out there. You get a lot of females will sit there and you'll have this nice, handsome, well-to-do guy, and you look over and it's like, what's he doing with her? She looks ugly. She's overweight. She's this or that and the other. You know what? Because she's peaceful. She's nurturing. She's peaceful. She's supportive. And you get the other women that just are focusing on looks. Yeah, but you're toxic. You're too needy. You're argumentative. You're combative. You're costly. And so to answer that question, why women, how does, nice guy get this girl, what's he seeing her? All the stuff that you're not doing. Most of us will take peace over, wow, you look flashy in your stilettos and you look good in your bikini. Great. But if you're yelling, screaming at me and throwing shit in the house every other night and going crazy and nutso and you're an alcoholic or a doper, no, I'd rather go out with someone who's just peaceful and keeps the house. I need to come home from my day and have the house and our relationship nice and peaceful. I do. It needs, the women are in charge of the household generally. They need to make sure it's a nice, peaceful environment for the man to come home and themselves and the kids as well. Definitely. Got to have peace in the household. But some of them can't because they're full of drama and they're toxic.
Ladies, soak up this game. You must be an asset, not a liability, okay? We
Absolutely.
need assets. We don't need liabilities. A liability makes us question or beg the question, why should we stay? And I mean vice versa, of course. All right, so emotional safety.
Emotional safety. Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Next one is less chaos and more stability. Break that down for us.
Less chaos, more stability. I mean, gosh, you could branch off into other type of stuff. So, I mean, here's the big thing. You want the relationship in your household to totally be stable. If you're the type of person who maybe you saw that when you're growing up, when your parents did it, or maybe you did it in prior relationships where you get frustrated and you go, okay, I'm packing, I'm out of there, and you start packing and you're leaving and you're doing these big grandioso breakups and so forth, you start making the man, and the same thing applies if you're the guy that does this to women. But what you do, the minute that you start threatening, I'm leaving, I'm packing, I'm going to file for divorce, or you actually start making these moves to do that, it's very detrimental on the relationship, because of course you have the other person, hold on, don't leave, let's talk about this, which is really what you're seeking in the first place. You're wanting that guy to come back around and apologize and, okay, what is it that you need? You're using that as a manipulation tactic to get what you want, either attention-wise, and maybe the guy is doing something stupid again, but we're going to remember that. We're going to remember when the chips were down and we were going through rough times and arguing and this and that and the other, your first instinct was to pack and leave, or you were threatening to uproot the household. And that's just, we're never going to forget that. We'll be silent, but we're never going to forget that. And when you start talking about unpacking and leaving and all that, and that might be taking the kids. So now you're uprooting the kids. What if we're signed a lease together? Now what? So I need to move out because your name is also on the lease. So now my living conditions is in jeopardy as well. And maybe we're jointly paying on the rent. So now you're panicking me. What am I going to do? How am I going to pay next month? So you definitely don't want to have a toxic relationship. And the biggest thing that I could advise you guys never to do in a relationship is just, never threaten, I'm leaving, I'm packing, all this type of stuff. Go take a drive, go say, hey, I'm going to just go to the store, go to the errand, go cool off, sleep on it, think about it, but don't make any hasty decisions like that, because you're going to regret it. You're damaging something that now it's unstable. It's unstable. And even though you say, I'm sorry, and you kiss and make up, this woman is when her back is up against the wall, and now she's going to be leaving. There's a potential for leaving, or she may keep, since she got the reaction that she wanted where you came and apologized, she's going to start pressing that button again. So you got to handle that the first time right off the bat. If you are the woman that says, I'm packing and I'm leaving, guys, hold your ground and say, hey, if you have lost the value in this relationship to the point where you want to completely leave over an argument that we could solve tonight, and your first instinct is to leave, please go, because you're not the person I thought that you were. Oh, you just, that's right. No, you threatened it. I didn't, but you're not going to manipulate me. So if that's what we're doing, then go.
All right.
And guys, she will never pull that shit on you again.
True.
She never thought you were going to say, I'll help you pack.
Yes, sir. All right. So last thing I want to touch on is how can a woman show appreciation to her man in today's day and age? Not just expectations.
Right. And you know, and for the ladies who said, all I want is sex, nothing we even talked about was even that, or reciprocating, or even going down that road. It's all been communication and this weird whacked ass shit. So showing her appreciation, we're not even going to go there as well, because there are tons of guys and tons of girls that they might even be having a healthy sex life once a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a week. I don't know, but you still have cheating, lying, drug use, alcoholism, people putting hands on each other, and they're still in an unstable thing. So that's not going to cure. That's not one of the criteria. So how can you show appreciation? I mean, you know, one thing, I think it'd be great if a woman that was in a relationship, you're actually living together. This would just totally, I would do a double backflip if a woman would sit there and say, hey, you know, maybe tomorrow we can sit down at the kitchen table. I'd like to know the budget. You know, what are we looking at as far as rent, the utilities, and this and that? I kind of want to know, because I want to be an equal where we stand. I want to do my part. And even if the guy says, no, I got you, don't worry about it, well, you should still push back and say, I still want to do something. You should not have to carry the entire load yourself. That shows at least you're acknowledging I'm carrying the load. You're wanting to be helpful. Now, if I got enough money, I'm like, no, good. We're good. Don't worry about it. But thank you so much. I'm going to remember that day that you offered to jump in there and help out, you know? And so that can really show that you're appreciative. You know, I mean, of course we buy you gifts. They're all going to say thank you and this and that and the other. But if we're living together, we're in a relationship, I'd love if they would just simply ask, how much are the bills? They might know rent, but they don't know how much is auto debiting out of my credit card every month for phone, Wi-Fi, utility. They don't know that. I mean, it's costly, you know, so that would be, and how about other stuff? I mean, you ladies want to be sent to a spa or something like that. Well, how about, why not, you know, once every 90 days or something like that? You don't have to wait till it's my birthday. Why don't you sit there and go, while I'm sleeping, if we're married, if we're in the same household, why don't you go call a detailer guy and come detail my vehicle? Why don't you go drive it and have it car washed and brought it back? Sure, go run errands and buy the shit you need, but why don't you have my car? And I don't even care if you use my credit card to have my car detailed out. It's the thought that you went through it and you had it done, you had it scheduled. You know, how about set me up an appointment for a pedicure and a manicure? And here it is, ladies. And then when you do that, you'll notice that they want to come along with you. No, I don't want to come along with you. It's for me. So I want to sit there and meditate. You don't need to be right there because I'm not relaxing. So why not send me there? So you got the pedicures, you got the manicures. Go have the car detailed. Buy me a shirt. You know my sizes. Go look in the closet. Go pick out a couple shirts that are great and just come up. I would do a double backflip if I come home and once a month that there is a brand new shirt hanging on a hanger, Under Armour or Calvin Klein or Neiman Marcus, whatever, Coach or whatever. I mean, that would be like, what? Hey, I was at the store today, bought myself some stuff, and while there, man, I thought this shirt would look great on you. That, man, that's a 5-star woman right there. A fucking shirt. I mean, yes, once a month, once every 90 days.
Yeah, ladies, we're very simple. Like I like today. No, the other day at work, I was trying to figure out. I was trying to write a list of like things that I want to like in the future. I couldn't even finish the list, and it was only like 22 lines. I couldn't finish the list of the things I wanted because, like, as men, we don't like once you buy everything you need, we're just stacking our money. It's not like Like, I mean, there's wants. Like, I mean, yeah, I want to go on a trip. You know, I want to
Yep.
buy some new shoes. But other than that, there's not really much that I want because I have everything I want
Right.
already. Yeah.
Or how about good old fashioned cooking a meal?
There you go.
You got all these new age nuanced women out there that are all about, you're either taking me out to eat or I'm just going to Uber, or their idea of cooking is you get the ready-made meals from HEB,
Mm.
where it's got the salmon and asparagus, throw it in your oven, 350 for 20 minutes, and I cooked. You just warmed up some shit. You didn't cook. It's like a fucking glorified TV dinner. There was no effort going into that. So when half these women and guys, you should ask them just as a dating question, not as a needle. You got to slide it in there and say, "Hey, do you cook? What's your specialty? What's your 2 or 3 specialties?" If she's, well, yeah, I don't know, you already know you're in for some trouble. Do you even own a cookbook?
Yeah.
Half these women don't even own a cookbook.
Yep.
You have no intention on cooking a meal at all. You don't even own a cookbook.
Yep.
I
Very
mean,
much
that
so.
tells you, right? You go over their house, they don't even have adequate so you know what you're in for. Guys, if you're with a woman who won't even cook, not even once a week, not even twice a week. We're talking about cooking, not just TV dinners. But then you know what's in store if you marry her. She's not going to cook. She's going to get worse. You're dating and she's only cooking fucking once a month. What do you think's going to happen when your ass marries her? She's not going to cook at all.
Yep. And then you
And
got
and
kids, and
and,
the kids
and
got to
I
eat.
and I cook. I cook, so but that's not for me to be the household chef 7 days a week. It's like, yeah, I can cook, but can you jump in there, once a week?
And throw
And you're
down.
saying, what would show appreciation? That would show appreciation. Maybe a shirt once every 90 days. That's not, what's it, $45 at Kohl's or wherever. I mean, maybe $100 shirt if you're getting some quality stuff. How hard is it to cook a meal? I come home, even if it's a bullshit meal like spaghetti. If we're, a kindergartner can make spaghetti, but if that's all you can do, great. Spaghetti and French bread and garlic bread and great, that's fine. So that's a low cost thing, ladies, to show guys. And you got to think, you use your brain, ladies, that you have, and you sit up there, even if you're trying to work a guy and sit up there, well, I'm going to get him to buy a bag and pay my bills. Well, then be smart about it. At least trick us a little bit better. And you throw in a meal every now and then, right? Throw in a shirt every 90 days. And you go, well, okay, from a business standpoint, I bought him a shirt and then I cook like once a week. So I'm kind of in the hole, maybe like $60 a month. Okay. But in the meantime, you have us taking you out to Ruth Chris, $300 nights, 2 or 3 times a month, and double cut up there and so forth and so on. It's like, you're ahead of the game. You're getting your money back tenfold from us. So at least play it off like you're trying to fucking do something, right? But just to sit there and go, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not even going to make macaroni and cheese, but where's my bag? Take me shopping, and I need a new lace up, and I need my nails done. No, we're going to buckle down, which started this whole thing. Where's the guys? Where are they? We're tired of this dating bullshit, So you got to contribute. We wouldn't take that from coworkers. We wouldn't take that if you were a business partner and you say, hey, let's start a business together. We want 50-50. Why has it changed? Because we're in the household and it's like, come on, man, they're grown adults. They have to know the guys are pulling 90% of the fucking load. And they're okay just sitting there watching TV all day, real stories of the women of wives of Atlanta or some shit, or 50 Cent's fucking latest trilogy or whatever the hell and it's like, really, and it angers me, but you have to sit here and be silent about it. It's like, come on, man, I'm paying 95% of the bills, 95 every day, and swiping my card at HEB 3 times a week. Come on, man. You have to know as a grown adult that the men is sitting there smoldering. Now you'll have men that pander to them and say, well, it's my job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, okay, that's fine. But behind the scenes, they don't like that. They want their wife doing something. And again, I come from a background where my wife, my mom, college degree, award-winning teacher, and raised 5 children. But you get these new age women now, they got 1 kid, no full-time job, and they're fucking exhausted and tired all day from sitting on the couch and being on social media, won't cook, won't clean, won't do laundry, so we're getting less out of the women than we used to get, years ago.
Mm, powerful. All right, man. Let me hit that close. So at the end of the day, men don't want perfection and women don't want confusion. Both just want to feel valued. But until we stop treating dating like a game, nobody's really winning. What men really
Right.
want TV, people. All right, man. That's it for tonight, man. Glenn,
Yeah.
thank you for coming out, man. We appreciate you. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Oh yeah. No, this is fun, and I think this stuff can just go on for years. I mean, the stuff that's going on out there. But I really feel sorry if somebody's new into the dating game and doesn't know they're going to get blindsided by some of these, seekers and
Oh, yeah.
gold diggers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to disconnect you from the stream, brother. Thank you for coming.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.
It's
You
been
guys give
fun.
it up for Glenn. Yes, sir. All right, guys, you know what it is. It's your boy B. We appreciate everybody that came in. Shout out to everybody watching the playback. Y'all let us know what y'all think too. What Men Really Want TV. This is going on my other page. You guys follow the other page. We did it here because I couldn't set up the live stream, so hopefully it doesn't throw my views off. But shout out to everybody that tuned in, man. I'm back in here tomorrow, probably with the regular show. If not, we doing a gaming stream. Deuces.